Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I'm going to be doing a tag video. I was tagged by E.D. Lewis over at E.D. Lewis Reviews to do the perfect book tag. So perfect book tag, I'm going to go ahead and just read the questions because I'm not really sure. To be honest with you, I'm not really sure what my perfect book would be, so I'm just going to kind of, I don't know, I'm going to wing it, so to speak, because I'm not really sure how to do this tag, or I know how to do it, I just don't know. I don't have any pre-planned answers for it, so there you go. I got a couple of books here I'll be showing off, you know, that are kind of examples of what I think the perfect book is. So let's go ahead and get started. What format, number one, what format is your perfect book? Hardback, paperback, or even e-format or e-book, all right? To be honest with you, I don't really have a preferred between them, but I find that a lot of times I will actually buy a paperback or a hardcover edition of a book, but then I will also buy the ebook. And I think it has a lot to do with, like, how much do I want to read this book? How much do I enjoy this book? You know, and some places you can't take a big hardback book with you or a paperback, and the ebook is, you know, just to me a more convenient thing. But I like all the formats, as long as, like with paperbacks, I hate when you open a paperback and the print is so small. And I've hated that even when I was younger. Not just because I'm older now and I have trouble seeing, I see okay. But yeah, when it's just so small, it's ridiculous, you know. But if I had to pick I'm not going to pick a favorite on that. You know, I like all of them. Each one of them has their own little pros and cons. So yeah, I'm okay with any format. I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't read ebooks. You know, I'm, you know, they're purists or whatever. They go, I want to read paperbacks or hardbacks or whatever. You know, okay, that's fine, that's great. You know, it's just that I'm okay with all three of them. Okay. Number two, about how many pages is your perfect book? Lately, as far as reading, I've actually been enjoying books that are anywhere between the 100 to 250 page range, but I will read books that are longer than that. The book I'm reading right now on ebook, Old Hollow, I think it's 170 something pages, but it's so good and he puts so much into it. It's almost like I've been reading this massive novel because he's just put so much detail into it. And I don't mean boring detail, I mean just enough of backstories and enough character information to keep you informed throughout the book. It's a werewolf novel, and it's part of the A to Z horror challenge that I'm doing under monsters, because werewolves are monsters. But yeah, I'd say 100 to maybe 250 pages, but that can fluctuate. You know, I think it's one of those things where if you're really enjoying a book, you're just going to keep reading it. It doesn't matter how long it is, you know, but let's say 100 to 250 pages, all right? Okay. Number three, are you particular as to where the chapters begin? I think what they mean with that is, like, if you read one chapter and it kind of ends on like a cliffhanger of a chapter, and you go to the next chapter, you want to know what's been happening right then and there. What happened after the last chapter? What's coming next? You know, instead of going to a completely different scene. I think it just depends for me. I don't really care. You know, because I think a lot of times with cliffhangers, you've got that suspense. So you know, yeah, keep them guessing for a little while. But other than that, it doesn't really matter to me. All right? Okay. Number four, are you particular as to where the page numbers are located? I kind of like, if I'm reading a regular book, because ebooks don't really do this, but if I'm reading a regular hardback or paperback book, especially hardback, I do like for the page numbers to be at the bottom in the middle. You know, I just kind of like that. You know, why, I don't know, but I do. So there you go. Number 5, favorite font. Do you check to see the font details if available? Like I said, if the print is really small on the font, then I don't really like that. But other than that, I don't know if I'm really particular about what kind of font I like. Although, when I make my videos, I mean, I'm not trying to plug my channel or anything like that. You're watching my channel anyway, big deal. But when I do a lot of my videos, I like the font that was used in the poster for the movie The Witch. Now, the one I use, of course, I don't actually use that font, but the one I use is similar to it. It's called I Am Fel Pro or Italic or Bold. I like that. And I think a book that's kind of set back in the old days, like I think Slewfoot uses that font a little bit. I think it uses the font on the page. And I think it would have been really cool if it used it in the book. You know, like maybe with some deckled edges, and I don't know, I think it'd just be a really cool looking book. So yeah. But yeah, as long as the font is not too small and I can read it, like it's a legible font, I'm okay with that. All right. Number 6, do margins matter to you? All right. Margins, just as long as it's one of those things where the word is not getting cut off, like when they manufacture the book and put it together, as long as it's not getting cut off, I'm fine with that. I don't like it to be all the way over to one side or the other. That looks ridiculous. So yeah, I guess kind of like nice and centered. You know, I think that works the best for me. So yeah, that's my answer for that. All right, and now I get to show off the books that I think are perfect books. And one of them I've shown off before, but not this edition. I just got this edition and I've been waiting to be able to show it off. But number 7, does your perfect book have any other unique features that make it perfect? Well, for one thing, if you can do something special with the book to make it look even nicer, I think that's great. So I'm going to show this off. I got this from Suntup. I think they're called Suntup Press. And this is an edition of Blackwater by Michael McDowell. You guys have heard, you've heard me talk about this book. You know how much I love this book. So when I saw this edition, I absolutely jumped on it. All right, so here's one of the illustrations. It's the front cover. All right, I mean, that's just gorgeous. I mean, and you got a very unassuming, very small thing. It's not in your face. I kind of like that. But anyway, let's see the illustrations in this, and I actually have 1 or 2 of the illustrations as wallpapers on my computer. But the illustrations are by Marcella Bolivar, I believe her name is. Let me look her up here. And each one of them, Blackwater originally was in 6 smaller novels. And then they were combined into one big, huge novel, which is like, this is almost 900 pages. And I've told you how much I love this. But each one of the illustrations fit with the... they fit with the, whatchamacallit, with each chapter. You know, so I'm going to show some of them off here. Some of my favorites. As soon as I get the page open, I'm sorry about that. Here's one. Okay. And then, let's see, where's it at? I'll show 3 of them, 3 nice ones. Let me see, where is that? Where'd she go? Here's one of Eleanor. This has got to be Eleanor's feet in the water of the lake or the river, and maybe a stream, I can't remember, a river. And there's like an alligator. And if you don't know about Blackwater, and I'm going to spoil it a little bit, but Eleanor has the ability, she can change into some type of river monster. But the entire book is basically about the Caskey family and how Eleanor marries into the family, and just a lot of family drama. This takes place back in the 1920s and or 1918, I believe, in Perdido, Alabama. So yeah, it's just an epic book. And like I said, Eleanor is just a small part of the book, but she is an absolutely fascinating part of the book as well. Like this one here, this has got to be the page, or like represents whenever Eleanor was first rescued in the beginning of the book, and the guy is wondering how it is she survived, when you can see that the water line, there's a big flood, and how the water line is way above her head. He kind of wonders about that. So that's one example of a perfect book. And I'm going to show off an edition of Dracula that I've got also, and this to me is a perfect edition. One thing I love is I love the little red bookmarker in them. Anyway, this is Dracula, and I think I got this from Ethereal Visions Publishing. In fact, I got Frankenstein, that one right there, and I got this edition of Poe. I can't remember what it's called, and I don't feel like turning my head back like that. Anyway, this one has some absolutely gorgeous illustrations as well. I'll find one for you. That's got to be Renfield. You know, but yeah, when you just when a book publisher just takes that extra step to make a book look even nicer. The only thing I don't like is when I know that it's a book that I hated, I thought was crap, and it's just like completely embellished with stuff. I just like, okay, it's like Roddy Piper said in They Live, it's like putting perfume on a pig. Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, if the book sucks, it sucks no matter how you present it. All right. Number 8, show us the cover. Well, I did. I showed you the cover. What do you find perfect about it? What do I find perfect about it? I love the artwork. But the thing about it is, with me, is the perfect book. I mean, I guess I'm supposed to choose one perfect book, but to me, there is not just one perfect book. I got so many books that I absolutely love. The covers to is just ridiculous. I mean, this edition of Dracula here and this one here. This is the Edward Gorey edition. This is gorgeous. Look at this. Look at that, man. That is just, man, that's beautiful. And the thing is this is raised. You can move your hand over this, but this is red velvet or crushed velvet or whatever. And it's just absolutely beautiful. So it's not like, you know, any particular book is, it's just like I have so many books that I love the covers to in the first place. Slewfoot. Same thing with Slewfoot. It's gorgeous. You know? So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any one particular cover, all right? So, finally, I've at the point where I have to tag some fellow booktubers. Oh, Lord, I never know who to tag for these, and usually everybody's already been tagged. And, perfect book tag. You know what, I'm going to tag a Frodo. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm going to tag a Frodo, and I'm going to tag Josh at Working Man Reads. Okay, that's who I'm tagging. And you know what, let's go with one more. Let's tag, wow, I can't think of anybody. I'm not sure if she's done it, but I'm going to tag Bookbound Weirdo. So, a Frodo, Working Man Reads, and Bookbound Weirdo. So there you go. All right, thank you guys for watching. And as usual, take care and stay scared.